Good Tuesday morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5 o'clock. I'm Michael Haslip.
And I'm Jesse Irwin. Coming up this half hour, stocks tanked Monday, leading to fears of a recession. We'll have the latest.
And this morning we have Dr. Rick Scholing. He's joining us in Studio C. Doctor, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate all your time. Dr. Scholing's here because he's going to answer your coronavirus questions. All you have to do is go to the KOAM News Now Facebook page, post your question, and we're going to have the doctor throughout the duration of the show. Spending a lot of time with us and greatly appreciate the knowledge that he's going to bring us.
Thank you, Michael. I'm joined by Dr. Rick Scholing. We're taking your questions on Facebook, so if you have a question about coronavirus, you can submit it on there, and we're trying to answer as many as we possibly can. And want to head over to a question from Cheryl Reynolds. She's asking, how long does the virus live on hard surfaces, like a table, for example?
Yeah. A hard table, metal surfaces, it will last a little bit longer. If there's enough liquid there, it can live up to 2 to 3 days, but that's why we recommend that you use disinfectant sprays to wipe those tables down and make sure that that virus is basically killed and cannot survive that. But it has been able to live it that long. Obviously, most cases, it's going to die within a few hours even.
Now, as we continue to provide you with the latest on everything you need to know surrounding COVID-19, our station right here taking its own precautions to ensure the safety of both the community and our families here at KOAM and Fox 14. One of the steps we're taking, limiting the number of people in our studios at one time. So we've asked some station employees with the ability to work from home begin to do so. So as a matter of fact, yesterday, we went ahead, got our boy lights, camera. He says action, and there's Jesse Irwin right now checking in with us from the Irwin abode. Jesse, how's life so far, my man?
Michael, it is so far so weird. No, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm glad that our station is taking these precautions. But honestly, Michael, I mean, this has and continues to be a major lifestyle change for people around the globe. It feels like everything in our lives is being canceled or shut down, right? You've got proms, playoffs, vacations, our favorite restaurants, stores. They're all having to change things up, and we're all just doing our best to make the proper adjustments as we continuously watch this unfold at a rate that we're still trying to put into perspective. And doing things like spending this much time at home and socially distancing ourselves from other people, I mean, these are hard changes to make. Well, Michael, I'd like to take you down the road and talk a little bit about this new skin treatment everybody seems to be talking about called washing your hands. Everyone's treating it like it's a big phenomenon, but clearly it's been around for a long time. But there's lots of different things you can use to knock those germs away. I mean, soaps, gels, hand sanitizer, you can name it. And I'll be the first to admit that when it comes to picking hand soaps, I mean, I just pick them for the smell or even the color. Now, the FDA considers hand sanitizer safe and effective, but they're not big on hand sanitizer brands claiming that they can protect against viruses like this coronavirus. In fact, 2 months ago, they sent Gojo Industries, Purell's parent company, a letter basically saying, hey, cut it out. You know, you can't, say that you help reduce the risk of Ebola and the flu because it's never been proven through testing. So with this coronavirus, the best thing to break through its bubble of oily lipid molecules is just plain old soap. And Michael, when it comes to the difference between antibacterial soaps and hand soaps and foaming soap, there's no difference. No significant difference has been found by the FDA. And ultimately, I think if someone is out there looking for the one that kills the most germs, I think they're in a pretty good place.
All right, Jesse, thank you very much, and we'll check back in with you in just a little bit.
The Cherokee County resident who was the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in the area speaks about his experience. Jim Thomas is a pastor in the area and says he had an ache in his back followed by a fever of more than 100 degrees. He was then tested at the Southeast Kansas Community Health Clinic and has been in quarantine since last Monday. Well, I sat down with Jim via FaceTime to find out what it's like to have COVID-19.
Hello.
Hey, Pastor Jim, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. Way better than I have been in the last few days. Got pretty bad there for a little while. I didn't have any energy wasn't getting any sleep, but all you could do is lay there and think about all the uncertainty,
Right.
which was not a fact. There was no uncertainty about it. I gave it to God a long time ago.
Was this something even on your radar? I mean, there weren't any cases in southeast Kansas until this point when you found out. And I mean, there must have been a lot of like, no, there's no shot this is happening to me, right?
Right. Yeah, it was completely out of the blue. It was not, yeah, it just kind of blew me away when they let me know that it was positive.
So let's go through this. We'll start with phase 1. It begins May 4th in Kansas. That's when Kansas will lift the statewide stay-at-home order. Essentially, not a lot will change in this first phase. Mass gatherings will continue to be limited to no more than 10 people. And many non-essential businesses like bars, casinos, and gyms will still be closed. However, childcare facilities and libraries will be allowed to operate. Now, phase 2 is set to begin no earlier than May 18th. And here's where we start to get back a little bit to normalcy. The mass gathering limit will be bumped up to 30 here, and bars will be allowed to operate at 50% capacity, while gyms, theaters, barbershops, hair and nail salons, and state-owned casinos can open as long as they follow social distancing guidelines. Now, phase 3 is set for June 1st, and mass gatherings will continue to be limited here, but this time to 90 people. But all other restrictions will be lifted. Even non-essential travel can resume in this phase. And then the last phase is the phase out, which will begin no earlier than June 15th. Mass gatherings will be allowed to resume without any limitations. However, health officials will still ask people to follow social distancing guidelines as often and as much as possible. And Tanya, these dates are all preliminary and can be pushed back if there is a surge of cases.